Hello and welcome to the Crafty Dragonfly podcast. My name is Stephanie and I'm coming to you from the northwest of England, where I live with my husband Chris and our youngest son. Although he's not too young, he's almost 20 in a couple of weeks actually. He lives here part-time and he's studying at university, and we also have our two mad cocker spaniels, Murphy and Willow, and we have two older sons who are flown the nest. So welcome to all my existing subscribers. Thank you so much for coming back. And I've had quite a few new subscribers recently, so welcome. Everybody's welcome here on my little corner of YouTube, and I hope you like what you see and that you stick around and watch some more. I apologise in advance if I am a little bit disjointed and there's things that I say that are all over the place, but it's been a few weeks since I last came on here, so I just don't know where the weeks have gone, to be honest. I filmed a week before Christmas and here we are almost at the end of January. Life has got in the way as usual, and I'll share some of that with you shortly. So if you haven't done so already, grab yourselves a nice warm drink. I've remembered this time and I've got a nice cup of tea, as I usually have. So pause the video first, go and grab yourselves a nice warm drink and whatever project you're working on, and we'll get right into it. Okay, so what have I been up to these last few weeks? I will just give you a quick update. We've obviously had Christmas, and which was great. I hope everyone had a nice Christmas and Happy New Year. I know it's very late to be saying that, but you know, I'll say it anyway to all of you. So I hope you've all had a great break. We went away, myself and hubby, for a few days in our little camper van Wilma, who I've shown on the channel before, so I won't go into too much detail about that because I know that's not why you're here. You're here to see what I've been up to crochet and stitch wise. So, but we had a nice few days away in Yorkshire. We stayed in Hawes, Ingleton and Skipton. I didn't take any pictures, did I? I may have taken a couple, but to be honest with you, we just went for a break and just to have a wander around places and not do much really. Excuse me. So we did that. It was a shame actually, because a lot of the shops were closed because I don't know, there was a bank holiday, and we went from Monday and came back on the Friday. So, but it was still nice. We still had a nice time. So that was that, and then we got back for the new year, and then we went back to work as everyone does after the Christmas break. And that's where I've been ever since, to be honest. I don't get the only time I get to crochet or stitch, it tends to be in the evenings or at the weekends, because I work during the day. I do work from home, and which I know I'm very lucky to, and I know the majority of the population have been working from home these last couple of years, but I do work from home, so I'm fine with that. I've got the two dogs to look after as well, and I wish if I could sit and crochet all day, but sadly that's not to be at the moment. So for now I will continue my daytime job. So yeah, and then it was my birthday last week and we went out for a nice meal to a pub not too far from us. We've never been before, just myself, Chris and Tom, and that was nice. We had a nice meal, and that just brings you up to date really. So also I forgot to tell you where, if you knew, where else you can find me on social media. I am most active on Instagram as the Crafty Dragonfly, and anything I talk about in today's video I'll leave links to below this video, which, if you don't know where that is, depending on what you're watching this video on, it will either have a little arrow directly beneath the video or it will say show more, and then you just click on that and it brings up a new section, and that's where I tend to put all of the links. If I want you to, you know, if there's anything I can share with you, I'll put it in there. I've also got a Ko-fi account which I've opened recently, and if you don't know what Ko-fi is, it's an online community for creators where supporters of your channel can can support you by making a small donation, and in my case it's to buy me a nice cup of tea. So I'll leave a link to that below as well, and thank you very much to the people that have bought me a nice cup of tea so far. I really do appreciate it, so thank you. So I think that's the rambling over with. I can't think of anything else that I've been up to. I don't think there is. If there is anything and I've forgotten it, I'll just talk about it whilst I'm showing you what I've been up to make wise. I have a couple of finished objects now. Sadly, two of them, I've got three altogether, but two of them they've already been gifted for Christmas, and I did talk about them in my previous video and I've posted about them on Instagram, but I can insert pictures and I'll just briefly talk about those. And I've got some works in progress as always. If you've if you've followed me for a while, and I've got some happy mail, and then I think that's probably about it. I knew there'd be something I'd forget to tell you. I knew there was. I've made notes in my lovely Rendale notebook. If you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I love anything Rendale. And whilst we were in Hawes, actually, I'll just digress quickly. There's a gorgeous shop called the Mulberry Patch, and it stocks, oh, it's just beautiful. It doesn't stock yarn, sadly, but it's got lots of little gifts and, you know, things like that, and it stocks Rendale. So whilst I was there, I did have to pick up a couple of things, but I'll show them to you towards the end with when I'm doing my happy post. So, but yarn related is Simply Yarn in Marsden, a little village that's just over the hill from where we live. It's only about 20 minutes by car, so really handy. The lady who runs it, Veronica, is lovely. I took my mum just after Christmas. We went to see Veronica, and we had a lovely cup of coffee and a piece of cake, obviously, in a cafe. Actually, was it after Christmas or was it just before? Can't remember now. It might have been just before But anyway, yeah, we had a lovely coffee and some cake at this little cafe called Crumbles on the Corner. Beautiful, it was lovely. And then we went down to see Veronica in her little yarn shop. Not met her before, we've not been to the shop before, but it was really nice to meet her. I did post about it on Instagram, but I'll insert some pictures in here of Veronica's shop. So, and since we've been, she's changed it around a little bit, and there's now a lovely table in there, and she's hoping to do some workshops. And I think she started like a knit and natter crochet type group on a Friday morning, I think it is. But I'll leave a link to Veronica's Instagram below, and you can check her out for yourself. But she's mainly stocks Stylecraft. The mill is just down the road from where her shop is, so she can pretty much get anything for you from there. And then she's got some other brands, King Cole I think, and don't know whether it's Hayfield, can't quite remember. But I'm going to visit her again on this Saturday actually, because I've ordered a yarn pack off her for another project which I am about to embark upon. So I'll talk about that in a little while if I remember to tell you about that. Or should I tell you now so I don't forget? I'm probably better off telling you now. Yeah. Wool thread paint. I've mentioned Marion. She's called Wool Thread Paint on Instagram, and I've mentioned her before. I've bought a couple of patterns from Marion, the Winter Seasons blanket and the Noel 9 patch blanket. Excuse me. Just have a quick sip. I haven't started those yet, but she's brought out another pattern which she is using Stylecraft Batik, and I think she's working another one up in the usual Stylecraft DK, because some of the Batik colours I think they're discontinuing, so she didn't want people to be caught out with not having the correct colours for the pattern if you follow the patterns and the designer's recommendations. So but Veronica, as with a few other designers, she's put together some yarn packs and she's posted about it on Instagram. They sold out quite quickly, and I think she's got some more stock in. So I managed to get one of the yarn packs. So this Saturday I am going to go over, because it's not too far from me as I've said, and I'll pick it up and probably end up buying something else whilst I'm there, and I'm going to have a natter and a coffee with Veronica, and we can have a little catch up, so that will be nice, something to look forward to. So when I've started that pattern I will share that with you when I'm next on, which will probably be in a couple of weeks. I think realistically it will be every other week now rather than weekly. I think that's quite a tall ask for myself, just because I've only got the evenings and the weekends to work up to crochet whatever it is I'm sharing with you on here. And I'm not the fastest of crocheters at all by any means, so I think it will probably be fortnightly, so I'm hoping to stick to that going forward anyway. So I seem to have talked quite a bit. I don't know how long I've been going for already. 12 minutes, and I've not even shown you anything yet. So what I'll do is I'll start with finished objects or finished projects, because I've only got one thing to show you, to be honest. And as I say, the other two, they've already been gifted for Christmas. It's non-crochet related, so I hope you're okay with that. But I have shown my red work projects on here before, and you all seem to be okay and like them. So this is a Dandelion Designs project from Mandy Shaw. I've talked about it before on here. You can buy heart kits that I've got about 3 Christmas ones that I've shown you. This is a winter one. If you can see, it's just got a little house on it and a deer, and then a couple of trees. Now, I bought this last year, and whilst I was off work over Christmas, I remembered that I had it, and I was actually getting it out of the cupboard to start making it, start stitching on it. And when I got it out of the packet, I'd already sewn it all. I did it last year, I just hadn't put it together, and all that needed was a sewing machine. So me just stuffing it and then putting the bow on and the tag at the the handle at the top. So it literally took me less than an hour to just put it all together. So I'm glad I've done it, because I've kept it out on the, you can hang them on door handles, and that's what I've done with this one. And I'll keep it out for a while because it's a winter scene rather than a Christmas scene, so it doesn't look daft hanging on the door handle. So that's my first finish make. My second finish make was the Emma's Hearts blanket, and that pattern was from Made by Anita on Instagram. It's a paid for pattern. Excuse me, I've talked about it before on here, the last 2 episodes I think, so if you want to know a little bit more about it, you could check those videos out. So that I managed to get it finished before Christmas Eve, and that was gifted to the lovely Mel. Our middle son John, his girlfriend is Mel, and she watches, I hope she's watching it, because she does say that she watches this channel. So I've gifted it to Mel, and she was thrilled with it. So that's nice. I think when you make things, I think I've mentioned this to you before, the majority of people, friends and family that I know, fortunately, I'm quite lucky, do appreciate what I make, and they appreciate the time and effort that you put into it. So I wouldn't tend to gift things to people that didn't understand you know, the love and the effort that you've put into it. So, but she did appreciate it, so I'm glad about that. And the third finished object, sorry, is Hercule the Strongman. I'll put a picture in here. Now, the picture I'm going to put in is the designer's picture, because she's called Firefly Crochets. I've talked about her before. She is the designer behind Richard here, that you can see, that always features in my videos now because I love him so much. And he won't be going away because he's not a Christmas make, so he'll stay up all year. I say stay up, but he'll just stay out with me all year. And at the moment, he's living on the fireplace. Excuse me. He's living on the fireplace in the lounge. So yeah, the picture I'll show you is the designer's picture, because I've already gifted it to John, our middle son. I've spoken about John before as well. He's a strength coach, and he's competed in competitions in Finland and Hungary, done really well, and I made the strongman for him for Christmas, so he's got that pride of place in his lounge. I think I actually made it in for his desk in his office, so he'll probably end up putting it there, but yeah, so that's those. Oh, and I did, now I'm glad I mentioned Richard here over my shoulder, and I think I shared on episode 28, I mentioned to you all and I said, guess what I've started, and most of you got it right because you know what I'm like now. I'd started another Richard the Moose because I just loved him so much, and her Firefly Crochets patterns, they're just really easy to follow, and I do like her style of design. So I started another one, and I started it before Christmas, and because I wanted to gift it, and I wanted to gift it before Boxing Day, and I managed it. I got him done. Now I've renamed that one because you know I like to rename things. So this one's called Marvin the Moose. I'll put a picture in, and I gifted him to my sister Denise, and she has currently got him sat on her fireplace in a lounge. She's probably moved him now, I'm sure she has, to the somewhere else because she doesn't have to keep him out, but yeah, she liked him, she was thrilled. So I'm glad I managed to get him finished as well, so that's good. So that's actually 4 finished objects, so that's not too bad. We'll move on to works in progress. So I've got it all spread on the desk here, so if I keep turning round, that's why. It's just that I'm trying to get things. So the first works in progress I think I'll start with, because I've got an epic creative error. I can't even... If you've watched my videos before, I am very transparent in what I make, and if I do something wrong, I tell you about it, because I don't want this channel to be all, you know, everything's wonderful and I don't make any mistakes, because as we all do as crafters, crocheters, knitters, whatever, I'm sure we've all made mistakes, and in order, you know, if you don't make a mistake you don't learn from things, do you? So I put a bit of I just made it light-hearted and said it was a creative error in things that I've done in the past that I've told you about. So and one of my lovely Instagram followers said, don't call it a creative error, call it a creative twist, which at the on the particular project that I was talking about that I'd made this creative twist was the Emma's Hearts blanket, and I did mention it in my last video, so I won't go over it again. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, just have a quick look at that video, so I don't bore you about it. But I called it a creative error, and she said, why don't you call it a creative twist? So for that, yes, I can call it a creative twist. However, what I discovered last night is not a twist, it's an error. So I'll talk about that after, when I'll lead up to that, because I can't believe I've done it. But anyway, I want to share it with you because, you know, this is how we all learn, isn't it? So I'll start off with something nice, some nice works in progress. I have started on my Woodland Santa again. Now this is from the Little Box of Crochet. It's the Advent box from 2021, and it was a box that you paid for monthly throughout the year last year, and then in November the box was sent out to you. I have done an unboxing on it, so if you're interested you could go and check that video out. And a few people managed to get Woodland Santa done before Christmas. Me, on the other hand, because I had several hundred other things to do, slight exaggeration I know, didn't. So I'm not bothered about, I know some people like to do like Christmas makes the run up to Christmas, and then they put them away for the year and then they bring them out again, and you know, and they do seasonal makes. Now I like doing seasonal makes. I have no problem with that at all, but I'm not I don't stick to it. I'm not sort of, oh right, I've got to do this in spring, I've got to do this in summer, autumn, winter, all that kind of thing. And that's just me. But you know, I don't mind at all. My most favourite seasons are is autumn, and then I love that time of year. I love autumn. I love the run up to Christmas. I've mentioned it before to you all. So I tend to make things related to autumn, like blankets for instance, case in point. I make those throughout the year really, so I don't stick to specific seasons, but as I say, that's just my personal preference, and I'm happy with that. So Woodland Santa, I didn't get very far with him before Christmas. I literally started his head, which is working in the round, and then you start to you're increasing, and then you start to decrease, and you make the head. So that's all I did before Christmas, and I've shown that to you. However, I did start his coat the other night. I thought, well, if there's not much to show, I know it's boring, but I thought if I at least start it. So that's his coat, and so you start to actually it's the other way. You start to increase up either side. Can you see? I'm looking at the screen, sorry. So you just increase up the sides, and then you just make one big piece. Oh well, for his back bit. I don't know what I'm even saying because I've not looked. I think it is just one piece. Anyway, I can't give too much away because it's a paid for pattern. But this wool, if I'm honest, when I was unboxing it and when I saw it, it's beautiful. It's really, really nice wool. It's Rowan felted tweed, I think. I've not got the box in front of me. It is Rowan felted tweed, and the colours are just beautiful. Now, to be honest, I did think I'd struggle with it because it does feel soft, but when you're working it and it's running through your fingers, I thought it was a little bit harsh to start with. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to struggle with that because it will make my fingers sore, because I run the tail end through my little finger like that. Anyway, as I was working more and more on it, it did tend to go softer. I don't even know whether I'm making sense with that, but it was fine. I was okay with it. I was happy. So I've made a start on it anyway, and once what am I trying to say? Once I've finished this other works in progress that I'm going to share with you that I've done the epic error on, I'll have time to just keep going back and forth between my other projects, and then I can just work on this a bit more. So I think because there's a lot of crochet to do, and people have said that, and if you have a look on Instagram, there's some beautiful ones that people have made. So I'm quite happy to just work on that, I think, throughout the year. I'm not bothered that I might be working on it in the summer. It doesn't matter to me. So hopefully I'll just share my progress with you on here, and then, you know, we'll see where I get with it and how quick I can get it worked up. But it is beautiful. You make all the little, you make a Christmas tree. You've got a little bucket that he carries that has woodland things in. So they've got toadstools. There's a little mouse. It's just beautiful. And I did actually make a little toadstool, which you can see. I think you make 2 or 3 of those. But yeah. So I thought, well, at least if I do little bits and bobs, and, you know, I've started it, so that's the main thing. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's worked on a 3mm hook. I don't know what I've done there. Yeah, 3mm hook, which was provided from Little Box of Crochet. So that's the first whip. I'll just have a quick sip. Next work in progress is, I might show you this actually. I have been watching Jeanette from Crafty Clegg Creations on YouTube. She also has an Instagram, and she's lovely. She's really lovely. So I've been catching up with her videos because I've only just come across her channel. So I'll leave a link to it below so you can go and check her out. But she makes lots of things. She's not just a crocheter. She knits, she sews, she has a little Etsy shop where she sells project bags. And she's just a lovely person to watch. So this is Jeanette's fault. And I'm sure she won't watch this channel, she won't be bothered anyway if I say it, but in a light-hearted way I'm saying it's Jeanette's fault, because she showed a goose that she'd made, an amigurumi. Don't know what video it's in because I'm catching up with her videos. So she made this goose and she showed it on her channel, and of course, even though I thought I wasn't going to make any amigurumi for a while, because I've mentioned to you before I love making them, but they tend to, depending on the size of them and what yarn I'm using, they tend to hurt my hands a little bit. So I wasn't going to make any for a while, but I've just had to get it because it's a paid for pattern. And you may very well have seen her work anyway. She's called Straw Animals on Instagram, and it's this goose. And he's absolutely gorgeous. Jeanette's version is beautiful. So I immediately thought I don't have to go and buy anything, because I've got the Drops Paris cotton that I used for Richard, Marvin and Hercule. I've used, this is a very, very affordable cotton. It's really nice. It's nice to work with, and I had loads of it. I went a bit mad before Christmas and bought quite a bit, which I'm glad about now, because I now have just gone into my stash and I've been able to pick out the colours that I'm going to use for this one. And and I've started it. Now, this Julia, she's called Julia Ustimenko. I hope I've pronounced that right. I think she uses quite a small hook. Now, I haven't, because this Drops Paris cotton usually calls for a size 5 hook. So I have gone down a size, and I'm using a size 4. And actually, whilst I'm talking to you, I'm going to write 4mm hook on the top, and there's a reason for that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So it's obviously going to be bigger. Now, it looks really silly at the moment, but I thought I'd share it anyway. If you make amigurumi, you'll know that obviously the majority of the time you make the limbs separate, and then you might make the legs separate, the arms, the head, whatever it is toy that you're making, and then the fun bit is putting it all together. So this is it looks very odd, but it's not. The body, the neck, and then you've got the little, they're not feet on a goose, are they? What they're called? Oh, something wrong with my brain. Anyway, those. You've got the little things at the bottom. I'm just going to call them feet for now. So, yeah. So obviously the head is made separate. And the beak and the wings. I didn't say arms, thankfully. The wings. And then he's got a little removable jumpsuit, a hat, a scarf and a bag. So I'm thoroughly enjoying making that at the moment. I'm just keep working, excuse me, I just keep working on it, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll have him to show you. Now, I am naming him Gordon the goose, because I think he just looks like a Gordon. So when I next come on, I'm hoping, as I say, I'll have that to show you, or if not, I'll have quite a bit more done than just a very strange looking body and little legs. But he has got little legs. If you look at him there, he has got quite a long body and then just little tiny legs. So that's Gordon. That's another work in progress that I've got. So let me just put that there. Also, a few days ago, I was hoping to finish it so I could show you, but sadly I've run out of time. From Kate Eastwood, I've got Kate Eastwood's book, and I just fancied doing something fairly quick, just so I think my hands were hurting me at the time, and I just wanted a small project just to be working on. So I've picked the Scandi heart, not the wreath, so just the heart here, and I've done it in Drops Paris cotton in that colour. And you just make 2 flat hearts, you embroider the front, stuff it and work blanket stitch around the edges, and obviously tuck a little bit of ribbon in the middle, and then so you can hang it up. So that I just need to finish that's all, but it looks nice, it's cute. And I'm just going to hang it here at the side of me on, we've got some tie backs, and I'm just going to hang it on there. So But I thought I'd show you that anyway, because just in case you fancy a quick make, or it's nice as a little gift for somebody. My tea's going cold now. Right, next work in progress is my Perfectly Imperfect blanket. Now, I've been calling it that, and I've been posting about it quite a bit on Instagram. I'm not following a pattern, I've just made it up as I've gone along. So, but it's raised quite a lot of interest on Instagram, to say the least. I don't know what's happened with my Instagram account at all. And I'm very, very grateful for everybody that's subscribed to it. I'm quite blown away actually that people want to follow my little squares on Instagram. So if you do follow me on Instagram, thank you. So this is the blanket so far. I'd say it's probably lap sized now. I'll try and show it you as much as I can without. So I've started off, sorry about the ends, but with 9 squares in the middle, if you can see there, if I hold it still, and then I've put some little squares around the outside here, and then I've carried on with just your normal granny stripe rounds. I was going to put some more squares around, but I'm just going to keep going with it. It is quite big now. I can't hold it out like all of it, but it is quite big now, and this is made with Deramore's Studio DK anti-pilling, and it's lovely. I've talked about this yarn before. It's beautiful, very soft, and because it's anti-pilling, you still get a little bit of a halo on it. Can you see? Well, you probably won't be able to see, but there is a little bit of a halo on it, but it's super soft. It's really, really nice. So I'm quite happily just working on that when I can, and it's lovely. It's really nice. Because I love the colours so much. I mean, they're just lovely, these colours, aren't they? And I think that's what's caused such a stir over on Instagram. It wasn't intentional. I'm not usually that good at colour matching, to be honest, but it does look lovely. So because I like the colours so much, and because I've got quite a lot of the yarn, I have got it in different shades as well, I thought I'd do some matching cushion covers. So I'm just going to do 16 squares. I haven't done a join as you go method like I did in the blanket. I've just used a double crochet or single crochet if you're in America, just to join. I've joined 4 squares, so into strips like this, and then I join the strips together, and then obviously, you know, you do that, join them together, and then you make a nice square of 16 like that. So I have finished. I've got the other side. I just need to put them all together now. They're all here, and then that's one cushion made, and then obviously I want to make another one. I don't just want to make one. And then I've used up quite a bit of the yarn then, which is nice, rather than just storing it away for another time. And then I'll have a blanket and cushion covers to match, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, it's just a normal standard granny square, nothing exciting about it. Okay, so that's that. That won't take long. Like I say, I'm almost at the end of the blanket now. I'm just going to have it as a lap size because it's only me that tends to use the blankets anyway. So, and I've also, I think I've shown these to you before. These are from Loret's Crafts UK. Little yarn pegs that you can attach your chosen colours to, and if you were wanting to work out an order in what you were doing for a blanket, you know, like a stripy blanket or something like that, or whatever, what colour order you wanted, you could use these lovely yarn pegs. And also they just look lovely anyway. I'm quite taken with them. And then obviously you've got the shade cards again from Loret's Crafts UK, where I've just put the colours of the blankets on and I've written the colour names on, because I've been asked loads and loads of times on Instagram what colours I'm using. I did actually put it in a couple of the posts that I did, and obviously I took a picture of that as well so people could see. So obviously everybody's liking that that colour combination. And when I've finished the blankets, in fact I should have put one of these on the Emma's Hearts blanket that I gifted to Mel, and I didn't. Oh, that's a shame. I've just remembered. I got some little buttons from Loret's Crafts, which I think I've shown you before. I got them from her stall at Yarndale, but the next blanket I'm going to talk about, I'll put one on, and then it says made with love on it. So that's those. Oops. So last but by no means least, and this is the epic error that you've all been waiting for, but as I say, I can't not share it with you, is the Mayan Blanket. Now, the Mayan Blanket, excuse me, Shelley Husband, she's Spincushions Crochet on Instagram. This is Shelley's latest book, Granny Square Patchwork. I've got all of Shelley's books. Correction, there's one that I haven't got, which is called Beneath the Surface. And I know that she's writing, excuse me, she's written another book, or another 2 books I think she said, that are due out this year. So I will definitely be getting those because I just adore Shelley's patterns. Now, before I bought this book, I bought, because you can buy, I'll leave a link to her, you can buy, Shelley's written hundreds and hundreds of patterns, and you can buy them digitally. So I bought the Mayan Blanket digitally, and I've talked about it before on here. The patterns, I just don't know. She includes that many things. I think there was nearly 80 pages on a PDF pattern, and I think I got it for about £5 or something. It's unbelievable. It's like a book. So I'd already bought the Mayan Blanket pattern way before this book came out. So I've been working on it, and I've talked about it on here before. I started making it last year. It might actually be the year before. Is it? Possibly. And it was for my sister Denise. It was for her birthday last year. That I have got right. But sadly, her birthday came and went, and I'd not got it ready. And as I've said to you before, she's not bothered. But I did feel a bit guilty, so that's why I made a Marvin the Moose over Christmas to, you know, as a bit of a sweetener. So anyway, I am determined. Her birthday is in 3 weeks, or is it 2? Might be 2. I was determined to get it finished for this birthday. So if I go over a few days, I know she's not going to be bothered. But, you know, and I'm not, I don't beat myself up about it. Obviously, because I've gone over a year, you know. Anyway, so I have shared the Mayan blanket with you before. And it's made up of squares. I've got this book because the pattern is in this book. Along with 40 other patterns. So if you're wanting value for money, this is a definite go-to. It's just beautiful. So the Mayan blanket, or the Mayan square, is in here, and if I can just find it for you, there it is. What I might have to do actually is do the usual and cover up the pattern, the written pattern. Can I do it without crinkling? There it is. So that's the pattern, and I've posted about it on Instagram as well. I have shown it to you on there and on here in the past. So here comes the epic error that I've made. I was on my 4th square. I've already made 3. They need blocking. I have shown them to you before. I've still got the ends to sew in, look. But look, so they're lovely. The squares are so nice. Hopefully you can sort of see. So I've made 3. I was wanting to make 6 so that it's more of a rectangular blanket rather than a square. Now what I did then think, right, well this is my 4th square, so what I could do is make it a square blanket. So attach all 4 together and do the border. Now with this Mayan blanket pattern, Shelley really holds your hand throughout. There are video tutorials on her YouTube channel to show you how to make this square. She goes through it round by round. Even at the end she shows you how to join the squares together and what border to put on. So what I'm going to do, rather than, or what I thought I was going to do before my epic error, was make 4, like I've said, and then just join them together and do the border, and obviously block the squares first because they're quite big. I think they're about 23, I can't remember now. What did she say in here? Size, it's a size 6 pattern. Might be about 23 inches across. So they are quite substantial squares. So by blocking them as well, you're making them obviously even bigger. So I think rather than go on to do another 2 and it be ginormous, I might just make a square one. It probably will be bigger than a lap size blanket, which is nice because you want to be able to show off the pattern of the Mayan square. So here it comes, transparency and all. This one, I think I started this 4th square before Christmas. I did, well, obviously before Christmas, but a few weeks before Christmas because I've talked about it on my previous videos. And then I had a bit of a break because obviously Christmas was in the way and everything else, and even though I was trying my best to work on it and you know, blah blah blah. Then I picked it up again. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, I've made a couple of creative twists, as one nice person said on Instagram, rather than error, where I've picked up the wrong colour of yarn because it was so close to the shade I wanted. Case in point with the Emma's Hearts blanket and the Perfectly Imperfect one. Instead of using a more or less white yarn, I'd picked up the cream because I was being thinking I was being good and working on it in the evening in poor light in front of the TV, and I've for some reason had this particular shade and I've picked it up and worked on it anyway. So that was that, but this one is a bit worse than that, which is why I'm calling it an epic error. I've picked up what I thought was the right size crochet hook, and you know what I'm going to say now. So I carried on, and I think I did potentially from maybe from down here to up here, so probably about 10 rounds. I've picked up the wrong size hook. Now, this is my own fault. I don't get why the hook was in the basket. I don't get that. I must have been working on another project, can't think which one, and left that hook in there by accident. And what's even worse is the hook size I'm supposed to be using, which is a 5mm. I've picked up a 6. Is missing. I don't know where it is. I've got a higher 5mm hook. It's not in the roll. I've got like a hook, a higher roll that I bought ages ago that has all the sizes in. It's not in there. It's not in any of my baskets. I have a Kallax system just in front of me here. I can't find it in there. Don't know. And I also work on Clover Armour Amour hooks. Clover Amour hooks, which are my favourite hooks. Can't find the 5mm that in that either. Don't know what I've done. So I've just carried on. I just carried on and I thought, yay, I'm getting to the end of the square, and didn't even bat an eyelid. I didn't realise that I'd picked up the wrong hook until, in fact, I was working on it and I thought, I'm struggling a bit with the size of it, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Now, obviously, I'd got the wrong size hook. So, but I only realised the dread of the of what I'd done. I realised when I slip stitched the last bit, tied it off, sat it lay it out on the table with the other one of the other squares, and it's obviously bigger than the last square I made because I've got the wrong size hook. So, dilemma now. Obviously, I can't attach it to the other 3 squares because it's bigger. So, and I can't remember where I started the other size hook. I just can't remember. I think, just digressing a bit, I'm going through the menopause. I think I've told you all this before. And I think I've every now and again I get a bit of brain fog, and it is a thing apparently. I am on HRT, so I haven't got too much of an excuse. But so dilemma. I undo it, the whole thing, and start again, or get to maybe to this edge, the edge of this bit, so where all the front posts are, where the sun rays are, get to there and measure it again with a square that I have done properly to see if it's the right size from there, and then I can carry on again and just repeat those last few rows with a size 5mm hook. I think that's the only thing I can do. I've got plenty of yarn left, so I've actually started another square anyway. I started it last night. Now, I did spend about 15-20 minutes trying to look for these hooks. Don't know where they've gone. Complete mystery. So for Christmas, my eldest, Dan, bought me a whole set of Bella Coco crochet hooks, which was really lovely. So obviously there's a 5mm in here because it runs through from a 3mm right up to a 6.5. So I could find a 5 in the end, which is here. It's quite ergonomic, isn't it? So I've started another square anyway here. So it didn't take too long to get to this bit. It's only the first few rounds. And plus I wanted to give these a go because they're very, very light. They've got your thumb rests, and it's just, like I say, they're quite ergonomic, aren't they? So I'm going to give this a go because I can't find the other 5mm hooks. Don't know where they are. And I think I'm just going to work the last square again. And the reason for that, because you might all be saying, no, just undo it and, you know, do from where you think. But I enjoy this pattern so much. And even though it looks really complicated, it's not. And as I say, Shelley is hold your hand throughout the video, throughout the pattern. And if you've ever got any questions or anything like that, you can message her, and you know, she'd help you. She's got a Facebook group, and so she's really, really good. So I think I'm going to make the square again, that fourth square, and then I'll block them all, and then I will attach them however Shelley says they should be attached, and put the border on. And as I say, I've got plenty of yarn. It's a lovely yarn, and they do it in other colours. It's from Hobbycraft. It's a 400-gram ball. It's huge, and they usually do 3 for 2. Hobbycraft. And in fact, I absolutely love this colour. Denise, my sister, likes things like this. That's why I thought of her when I got it. But I think I'm going to get some more because it's really good value. And it's an Aran weight, soft and smooth tweed Aran, exclusive to Hobbycraft. But it's such a beautiful yarn to work with. It's so soft, and it's got such a good drape to it as well, and it comes up quite heavy. It's lovely. So I'm just going to make the other square and not worry too much about the fact that you know, I've gone wrong on that square. So in future, write down the hook size I'm using. Now, if I was really organised with the amount of stationery I have in this house, I could open a shop. I should have like a project book, and then I can write down in said project book, what size hook I'm using, what yarn and all that malarkey, but I don't think I would do that anyway, to be honest. So now that I'm on the right hook size, what I am going to do, just in case I have a bit of brain fog in the future, is I'll, in pencil, in Shelley's book, I'm going to write down the hook size at the side of the pattern, just so I can, you know, I'm not bothered about writing in books anyway, because I think, especially books that have lots of patterns in, I think they should be used for writing all over, and, you know, but whether I can bring myself to do that or not, I don't know, because it's such a beautiful book. So, but I will write in, or I could even use a post-it note if I didn't want to write in it. So that's a real lesson for me. As I say, I don't know why that hook was in the basket, but it was, so that's that. But I enjoyed the pattern, so I'm just going to go with it. So I think very quickly, because oh my goodness, I've been going for an hour. I hope you've not fallen asleep, or you've just gone and made another drink and come back. I'm just going to have a quick sip because I'm going to cough. And that's horrendous because it's cold tea and I can't stand cold tea. Very quickly, I will show you my happy mail. If you don't want to watch this, thank you for sticking with me for this long, and I will see you next time. Hopefully, as I say, I should be on in a couple of weeks, so thank you so much. But if you do want to stick around while I just show you very quickly some incoming goodies, I'll show you as quick as I can. So the first one is I subscribe to Brooke Marie Art. She has an Instagram account. She lives in Yorkshire. Brooke, really lovely. Beautiful Instagram account. And I subscribe to her monthly illustration club. So this month's cards, January's cards, it's all on recycled card. She's very conscious about that. Beautiful. She's so clever with how she draws, you know, what she draws. That's called Tea Cake and a Cozy Night In. That one's called Winter Retreat. And that one's called Birthday Tea. And you get a bookmark, which is lovely. And this month's theme is Snowdrop. And what she started to do is give you an intentions card. So this is a January intentions. So if there's something that you want to write on, that what you want to intend doing for the month, you can write it on there. And then she just includes a little note to you of what the month of January means to her. And then you get a little notelet card with snowdrop on, and then you get about the snowdrop, which I tend to, you can frame these, and I'll show you what I've done in a minute. Now, I've mentioned these before. I'm going to have to, because I'm subscribing to her, and it's lovely to support a small business, and you know, and that's why I do it. A local business as well, localish. But obviously, because the cards, you're meant to give them away, because the birthday cards, but I've mentioned this before, I'm finding that quite difficult because they're so lovely, but I can't keep them all, I know that. But the ones that I really, really can't part with, I've said I'll frame, and that's what I've done. So this one, because I loved it so much, I've put in a box frame. This isn't from January's subscription, this is, I think, from October or November. So I've just put it in a like a deep frame, the card, and I just think it looks lovely like that. And then what you can do is, what I'll do is, if I get, you know, if I want to change that, I'll just put a different card in it. I think that's, you know, that's good for me. I'm quite happy to do that. I will give some away, but obviously not all of them. The Rendale, very quickly, if you're interested, the shop I talked about, that Mulberry Patch in Hawes. I just bought some tea towels, a couple of tea towels. Obviously I'm not going to use them. They're just for show. But look, aren't they beautiful? And I bought a dish, which I won't show you that. And then I bought this beautiful little vase. It's just so cute, that, isn't it? Beautiful. So I bought those, and last but not least, and I forgot to bring my stitching in, but I've not done much anyway. For my birthday, because I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole with cross stitch again, I asked my hubby for some cross stitch kits. So I'll try and not crinkle. I got these from Bothy Threads. So there's that one, which is just gorgeous. They're all Rendale kits. Surprise, surprise. There's that one. I think they've got a name. Oh, so that one's called Sweet Tweet. That one. There's Hee Haw. This is just lovely. I love that. Hee Haw. And Christmas scarves. That's gorgeous. And you get, in with the kits, you get all the threads, you get the needle and the chart, obviously, and the Ada fabric. So, and I have got another one, but I think I've shown you that before. Have I started? Oh no, I got 4. There is another one I've got, and I can't remember what that one was. But I'll show you next time anyway, because I know I've been going on for way too long. So I'll show you next time. That's it. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. I hope you've managed to make some progress on whatever project you've been working on, that you've managed to have a bit of relaxing time to yourself while you've listened to me waffle on in the background. I hope you're all well, and it shouldn't be too long before I'm next on here, and then I can hopefully share with you my finished Mayan blanket pattern. And I'm keen to start something else of Shelley's, so that will definitely be on my hook when I'm next on here. And then obviously I'll share with you the yarn pack that's the Stylecraft batik that I'll have picked up from Veronica at Simply Yarns. So I'll have lots to talk about yet again, but hopefully it won't be an hour and 13 minutes. I didn't think I could speak that long, quite frankly. But I'll hopefully edit some of it out so it's not too long for you. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.